We are in my studio, Shelton Studios Inc., which is in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. As long as I can remember, I've been attracted to metal and interested in metal. It's something I was drawn to at a very young age. My uncle had a shop and I would always wander in there barefoot till he would, holler at me to put flip-flops on. And I would mess around with things in there and learn how to weld and learn how to machine. When I first started metalworking, it was pretty rough and pretty, like stick welding and rough stuff. And then over the years, I've just gotten more into the finessing the metal. We specialize in high-end architectural metalwork. So we do stairs, railings, doors, windows, pretty much anything. I really like working directly with architects and designers and contractors and clients. And I like the different jobs require sort of different levels of involvement. Every single project is completely different. For example, a staircase will require a lot of meetings and planning before we even pick out a material. That will usually start with measuring the space and seeing what kind of staircase the client wants, what kind of railing they want, what the structure in the building is, what it needs to be. We sort of work from there. And you start with your codes and you start with the situation in the house, and then you start to get into design. I'll provide images, they'll provide images. We'll get to a place that we both feel comfortable with. I'll supply an array of materials so they can see, what kind of handrail they want, what size they want, what finish they want. And also I'll make a mock-up, and that's really helpful for people to see what it's going to look like. And then we start, measuring and building, and the building can be very quick or it can be very long and slow. It's never a dull moment. It's always, every project is a little bit different. Right now we're working on these polished stainless steel cabinets, and polished stainless steel is one of the most time-consuming things to work on. Handling it is 10 times harder than, say, hot-rolled steel or cold-rolled steel. So the material dictates a lot of the time. Patinas on stainless steel take longer than patinas on regular steel. The environment has a big effect on patinas. When it's really humid out, the steel just rusts instantly and it's really hard. In the winter, it's really easy. Sometimes the water table changes the molecular structure of the patina. Over the years, you start to learn, like, okay, I'm probably not going to do this patina in late July, August, because it's going to be a nightmare. And that's the greatest thing about, having a skill, a craft, is you're constantly getting better every day, every time you do it. And yeah, I can't ever imagine getting tired of it because it just keeps developing. One of my favorite projects over the last couple of years have been these library ladders that I design and we fabricate. All the wheels are machined. We machine them out of bronze, and we also machine the rubber for them. I love making them. They seem like functional sculpture to me. It's a perfect mix between the two different things that I do. I could make these all day long. I was always art-driven. That was the goal. That's why I started pursuing a job as a welder and a metal worker and in construction, because I wanted to become as good as I possibly could. I think the most intricate part of the process is communicating with the other people involved. Not the guys in the shop necessarily, but all the people involved in the job. Once we get to just make the work, it's pretty seamless, and any problem that we have in the shop is solvable. It could be really difficult, but there's always a solution. And it's like math, there's always an answer, there's always a right answer. This is my favorite helmet. All the guys tease me because it's so old school, but I love it because one of my friends who has hot rods did pinstripes on it for me a while ago. What do I like most about metalworking? Oof, that's a hard one. I really love it. I love everything about it. I'm kind of a geek with it. I don't know. I like making things out of metal. I like, when the steel trucks arrive and I pull the links off and put it on the rack and staring at it and knowing that it'll be turned into something, a staircase, a rail, a door, whatever it is. And going through the whole process of creating something out of just this raw material is always been exciting to me, and I hope it always is, because I really love every part of it. And then installing it and standing back and watching somebody interact with it, it's completely satisfying.